Hi, welcome to the show. Today's show is going to be the first of a three-part series looking at the Nevada map of DCS. Look, I'm on the runway. I'm moving towards takeoff. Alright, I'm going to have a quick look left. Don't see anything. I'm going to move on to the runway. There's two planes there in front of me coming from the other side of the airfield. But look, I'm going to take right away now at the moment because I need to get moving. And that's the most important thing, really. Lovely, come on. Now, get it lined up on the runway. Get some speed up. And then we'll do a nice gentle pullback on the stick. And get us airborne. Come on. Really? That's better. Okay, gear up. And let's get her into flight mode. So we come to the end of the runway, and as you can see on the left hand side, there's some of the accommodation and stuff for all the crew that live at Nellis. Massive airfield, as I've explained in the previous episode. What we are going to do here is we're going to do a 180 back on ourselves, and we are heading towards Creech. And from Creech, what we're going to do is we're going to take a right turn and head north up the valley to Groom Lake, or Area 51. It's got two runways, a short one and a very long one, and we're going to do a couple of probably touch and goes and have a look around. After that, moving towards Tonopah Test Range, then Tonopah Airport, and we're going to extend all of our way, and we're going to extend our reach all the way to Mina. So we're going to be flying pretty much the seat of our pants today. I don't even know if I've got enough fuel to reach Mina and get back, but look, that's what today's all about. It's about having fun and exploring the F16 and also exploring the map, which is more to the point, right? So let's have a nice gentle right turn here. As I said, I'm a serious F16 pilot in DCS only. I love it. I do not go out and abuse my planes or try to crash them or anything like that. In fact, I can't remember the last time I crashed my F16, which is a really good thing. So yeah, these days I see it very, very seriously. So let's get moving, eh? Alright, off to our right you'll see Creech, and what we'll be doing is we'll be taking a slow right turn in a little bit. Alright, what's that? Strange little base. Or is it a gated community? Something for the residents of the airbase, maybe? Looks like a sports field in there as well. Right in front of us is Creech. Creech is the home of the remote piloted aircraft. These are drones such as the Reaper and the Sentinel. It's a big deal, Creech, big airbase as well. Landed there a couple of times, had a little tour around the airbase. It's fantastic. Well, we are taking a right turn to head up the valley towards Groom Lake. Now, Groom Lake, obviously better known as Area 51. On all the conspiracy theories that goes with Area 51. It's an advanced weapons and aircraft facility. Look, who knows, they might have UFOs there, they might not, but they've also tested some of the most amazing American experimental aircraft, and that's the home of it, in conjunction with Tonopah, which we'll be seeing later. Lovely view there. So what we're doing, as you see, we're heading up the valley. Now, if you head straight up the valley, but as you come towards the end, there is a ridge. If you keep to the right, where the mountains are on the right hand side there, and towards the end of the valley, just pop your head up, and then in front of you will be Groom Lake and the 2 runways. The one on the right is a shorter one, and the one on the left is just massive. And the plan is to land at Groom Lake. Look, see what I do. I'll have a land, and yeah, I might do a couple of touch and goes, or the same thing, I might just head straight up to Tanopa. Anyway, as I've said, the idea of this is fun. We're going to test out the F16. We're going to, you know, give it a bit of a hard time, not too hard. I don't believe in smashing my planes to bits. As I said, I take it quite seriously, and I don't crash them anymore. My setup is pretty good. I've got the A10 Warthog joystick, Thrustmaster rudder pedals, which are not very good, I would not recommend them, and I've also got the Thrustmaster A10 throttle set up the way I like it, of course. So look, here we come to the end of the valley, and you can see the ridge is right in front of me. I'm 8,000 feet, which is obviously minus approximately 2,000. We're doing total VFR today, so I'm not going to be making a big deal about altitude. I can see where I'm going. Totally visual flying right today. So turning gently, I'm dropping the speed a bit, and right in front of me should be Groom Lake. You can just about see it in the distance. Ah, beautiful. See on the right hand side, the small runway, and the bigger runway is on the left hand side. I think I'm going to aim for the big runway today. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, I'm lined up pretty well. So come over the ridge, reduce speed, drop the gear down, and we'll come in for a landing, alright? Now all this is classified airspace. You're not allowed to fly in commercial aircraft, which is fair enough. One thing I've become very, well, I wouldn't say good at, but I've got a lot better at recently is landing this aircraft. Now I cut my teeth in DCS on a P51 Mustang, and honestly, landing that thing is difficult. Landing something like a Spitfire for me is impossible. In fact, taking off and doing anything on the ground with the Spitfire is pretty impossible, so I never even bothered to use it anymore. I fly 2 planes, generally the P51 Mustang, and yeah, my favourite being the F16. I just love it. I can't tell you how much I love it. Visibility is beautiful. I don't know why all planes haven't got this cockpit set up, because the cockpit setup is fantastic. You can just see everything rather than having that huge piece of metal semicircle around the outside of you. Alright, so we're coming in now. We are putting my little plane near the runway, as I said, VFR. Quick check on the outside. Straight. Gear's still up. Just trying to get the aircraft centered. Now when I drop the gear, obviously you see master caution come up for a second. There you go. Alright.
Altitude.
Gears down.
Altitude. Altitude. Altitude.
As you see, the whole HUD has changed, so I'm going to run it in nice and slow. Again, I have a little problem with speed. just under 200 knots. I'm a little bit low. In fact, I'm a bit too low. Come on, you're going to reach it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh dear. Alright, look, I've got away with it. So I'm not going to beat myself up too much about it. I got on the runway and the plane's landed safely, and I'm going to try stop it. Slow it down, and then make my mind up about what I'm going to do afterwards. Again, groundwork's quite important, running your rudder and your nose wheel, which I'm getting to be a lot better at. As I said, landings can be a little bit tricky. Takeoffs generally I'm pretty good at. Alright, slowing down. As you see, this runway is massive, so touch and go time. Alright, I think I'm going to just put the pedal to the metal and we'll just take off. Right, we're up and running again. Right, what we're going to do, gears up. Okay, I'm going to go round, and what I'm going to try and do, I think, is land on the smaller runway this time. Again, not a huge hard G-turn or anything like that. Bring it around nice and gentle. Get your bearings. And there she is. There's Area 51, or Groom Lake. Look at the length of that runway. Good lord, it's massive. It really is massive. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop the gear and just do some low level and low speed flying. Alright, so I'm around 240, 250. I'm coming into line up with the smaller runway. And what I'm going to try and do is get familiar with the plane at low speeds with the gear down and the brakes, air brakes on, and fly it with just throttle so much. So I'm just keeping an eye on my speed, keeping an eye on my altimeter so I'm not dropping. And I'm going to try and line myself up here now with the smaller runway. Speed's good, 215 knots, that's alright. Quick peek from behind. I think a lot of us beginner pilots, we do struggle with flying very fast jets at low speeds. But like everything, the more practice you get, the better you get at it, right? I love that view from behind, just to see if you're lined up. But the whole idea of having your little HUD aircraft on where you want to be. So I'll try and get the HUD little aircraft on the runway, and then I know that's exactly where I'm heading, right? Now obviously don't mind comments about my flying, you know, you can say what you want. But unlike some of you, I get to fly maybe once a week, or maybe twice a week. Life happens, you know what I mean? Okay, we're looking pretty good actually, and stable. pick it up now. It does get very lumpy at low speeds. Like the control surface take a lot of input to make it move.
Altitude. Altitude.
And I'm around about 200 knots as well. I've got one light. I'm kind of drifting. To keep it at 200 knots, which is good. Be a little fast. Altitude's dropping, but not outrageously fast. Come on. That's it. Alright, looks promising. Alright, let's flare. Power off. Come on. Oh, floating. Oh, there we are, down. Now, I must admit, I've done a few undercarriages in the past. Always think about, oh dear, well, the old mechanics crew would be cussing me out. But look, she's a hardy aircraft, the old F16. Just getting the brakes on now, just full brakes. Just want to stop it before the end of the runway because I can't see it, really. So I'm braking, brake off. Bit of air braking when I could, but alright, I've come to a stop nearly. I reckon that's not a bad landing, okay? I'm going to come off the runway now. I'm going to take this left turn where the C marker is, and that will bring me up to the really, the long runway. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'll probably end up taking off on long runway actually. And from there, I'll head up to Tanopa, I think. Okay, let's see where we go anyway.